Hello everyone, how are you doing? Are you fine? I hope so. Let's go to our July 28th class. I know you have read the text, right? So you probably know that the text is about Dana White. He's the current president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and he was born on this day in 1969. While he was working as a manager for Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell, he learned Semaphore Entertainment Group was looking for a buyer for the UFC. So, a childhood friend of him, Lorenzo, and Lorenzo's brother also, they bought UFC, and White became its president. Let's see some verbs on the text. We have the verbs to be, to grow, to work, to learn, to look, to contract, and also the verb to install. Okay? Now we can talk about home practice. Home practice starts on page 256 and ends on page 257. On the first exercise, juniors, seniors, and masters had to choose the correct option to complete the sentences, the conditionals. So number 1, if I had known her name, I would have told you. Letter C. Number 2, if you had asked me, I would have told you. Letter A. Number 3, if you hadn't helped me, I would have been in real trouble. Letter A. Number 4, he would have died if they hadn't taken him to the hospital on time. Letter A again. 5, Susan would have come if you had invited her. Letter C. Number 6, he would have helped you if you had requested more politely. Letter A. 7, if I had wanted to, I could have married anybody I liked. So letter C. 8, if he had run a bit faster, he couldn't have won. Letter B. 9, if my grandfather had been alive, he would have been 95 now. Letter A. Number 10, if you had worked harder, you would have passed your exam. Letter A. Alright? After that, seniors and masters, they had to record an audio saying 5 things that they would have done if they had won $60 million. For example, if I had won $60 million, I would have invested it on saving accounts. Or, if I had won $60 million, I would have bought a bigger house for my family. Or, I would have lent this money for some friends. I would have traveled around the world. Or, I would have opened a business. Alright? So now we are able to go to our review. As you could notice, this class is about conditionals. So let's talk about the 4 types of conditionals that we have. The first one would be the zero conditional. What is the idea of the zero conditional? It transmits idea of things that are always true. It's not a possibility. No, they're always real. Okay? And the structure would be if simple present, simple present. For example, if you train hard, you fight like Anderson Silva. For the first conditional, I will have the structure of if, simple present, and will, can, may, or to be going to. The first conditional transmits the idea of possibility in the present or in the future. For example, it will be great if I install a company and hire Flávio Augusto to guide me. For the second conditional, I will have the idea of something that is unlikely to happen. We're talking about hypothetical situations. The structure, if, simple past, plus would, could, or might. For example, if Elon Musk sent me a job opportunity, I would look it as a prank. And for the third conditional, I will have the structure of if, past perfect, and on the other side, would or could plus a perfect infinitive. It will transmit an idea of something that is impossible to happen, because it's already happened in the past. You cannot change it. For example, if Dana hadn't learned about the offer, he wouldn't have bought it. Okay? Now, you are able to watch your live classes with your teacher. Don't forget, after that, to do the class practice exercises. Alright? Thank you very much, guys. Have an awesome day and see you next class. Bye bye.